HLUB has a special place in my heart because it was in HLUB that I saw the call to the gospel. It is at the conference at HLUB that I felt the call to ministry, and I responded to that call. And it is at HLUB where I met my wife and I married her. But that journey, though, was a rocky one if you ask her. It was a rocky one. Because I was one of those guys, immature as I was, who when I saw her, I was like, snap. But on the other side, that I was afraid as well to commit to her. Because the reality of it was this, that if I said yes to her, that I would have to say no to the other options that I wanted to pursue. Let me say that again. This is the reality, okay? This is my confession. That if I said yes to her, then I would have to say no to all the other options that I had. And I didn't know if I wanted to say no to that yet. And so I wrestled. And so as much as I met her here, and our love story started here, our heartbreak was also here too on this campus. Because I didn't know if I wanted to say no to this. And so even beyond HLUB, I had to wrestle, and I had to see, man, can I really commit? And then as I continued to meditate, and as I continued to ponder upon this decision, that if I wanted to say yes to her, I began to see it from a different perspective. I began to see it from a different perspective in the sense that when I say no to them, to these other options, I get to say yes to her. You see that? See, at first I saw it as a negative thing. But then when I began to see the beauty of her and how God had formed her, I go, no. I get to say yes to her. I get to say yes to her compassion. I get to say yes to her mercy. I get to say yes to her beauty. I get to love her. I get to call her wife. I get to see how she mothers my 4 children. I get to taste that day in and day out. I get to wake up to her, crusty as she is when she wakes up. But you know, that's mine. And so I began to see, no. It's not about looking at this and saying, oh, this is what I get to say no to, but I began to say, no, this is what I get to say yes to. I get to say yes to her beauty, and she becomes mine, and I become hers. You see, in the Christian faith, many times we walk in our Christian faith, and we begin to meditate on all the things that we have to say no to. And we're like, that's not fair. They get to do it, and I don't. But yet we don't see on the flip side, oh no, the grandeur and the beauty and the wonder of the gospel. And that the gospel is not merely an idea that we're saved, but the gospel is that we get God. That the gospel is not merely that we go to heaven, to this place, but that we go and be with God in Jesus Christ. You see, we look at the gospel merely as concepts. But in reality, the gospel is a person, the person.